Hey there, sexy souls. Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm a little weird and we get a little woo woo. I'm going to be pulling some cards, see if there's a message. If you're going to stick around, fabulous. If not, have a great day. For those who are sticking around, friendly reminder you are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. All right, okay. Um, no real preemptive downloads or anything else like that. Um, we're just going, we're diving right into this, and we're gonna see what they have to say. Okay. All right. Page of Swords, King of Cups, Page of Swords, King of Cups. It's like something being shared, or getting privy to something that's not necessarily like readily available information or shared with everybody. Kind of like getting a peek into something. Seven pickles. Seven. That sounded like I said pickles. I did not say pickles. I was trying to say seven of pentacles. But if you would like seven pickles, that's fine too. Okay. There's a breakthrough of some sort that's happening. And boy, is it needed. Good Lord. Boy, is that needed. There's a breakthrough and it is needed. Okay. So you're getting privy to something that not everybody gets privy to, or getting information or a message that not everyone, not very many receive. Okay. Three of Wands. Oh, there's something that's well received here. Something well received. It's like the King of Cups really hides his cards. He doesn't share very many aspects of himself with the general public. He can come across very stoic, and like his internal world and the truth of who he is in varying aspects. He's very discerning and limiting on who he shares that with. That's why it feels as though you're going to get a peek into or access to either information, highly coveted, but it's not coveted. It's like a lot of people would like access to, but they don't get. And it may very well be access to an aspect or an understanding of a person that not very many people get to have access to. Something has been well received. And so this feels like a reciprocal, because the idea of the three of, there's a million things that people talk about with the Three of Wands, right? But the gist, right, is a sense of community with all of the threes. It is about connections beyond just partnerships. It is you within your environment and community and those that are around you, right? That's the threes. It symbolizes the cooperation, collaboration, creativity, that that exchange. Ugh, words, I don't understand them. And so when we're talking about the wand suit, we're talking about inspiration, ideas, motivation, drive, passion, desires, right? So the Ace of Wands is like that desire, that inspiration, that passion. The Two of Wands always talks about the decision, right? But specifically in the wand suit, wands are about action. And so it can be what, the decision of what passion I pursue, or the action I'm going to choose to take based upon the Ace of Wands. So to me, the Two of Wands is after having the Ace of Wands. And so you have the inspiration, the idea, the passion, the desire. You decide, because there's a decision in the two in any twos. You decide the action that you want to take based upon that. And then three is you've put something, the action is putting something out into the world. Three is waiting for that to come back. It is, how is this received by those beyond just myself, beyond just, within the environment, the world around me, right? So it's like sending something out into the world with the Two of Wands, waiting for it to come back, which is why they talk about these ships coming in, right? It's receiving something. It's the feedback from that which you have taken action on, whether it's well received or not, you know? And usually the indication with the Three of Wands is once you receive that feedback, whether it's positive or negative, you then know how to act, move, and create in order to create that foundation. Again, it's this back and forth, right? So there is an interchange, or an exchange between you and your environment, that, how the world perceives or receives something. And generally the Three of Wands, unless otherwise indicated, it is well received. It's kind of like you've done something and somebody responds regarding what you've done. And there's something that you have done that is being well received by somebody else, that's giving you access to either a part of them or access to information, or communication that most people don't get. Pardon my French. What in the, pardon me with that big loud cough. My mouth be saying some stuff and I'm like, my brain's like, what? Like she has gone rogue. Rogue. Woo! That was on the bottom of the deck when I was sitting here talking about everything, but I did shuffle. I know that you saw Ten of Pentacles. Whatever you're getting access to, or whoever you're getting access to, or the aspect or side of somebody, it's, how do I say this? It impacts the long-term trajectory. Again, whether you get to come to know and understand and have access to a particular person, or just an understanding, information, a message, it impacts long-term. It impacts emotional stability, financial stability, the trajectory of family. This is like long-term path and goals, far-reaching is what I want to say. So that is probably why it lends itself to being like a major breakthrough for you. Talk about the Seven of Pentacles and Ten of Wands, please. Wow. Holy moly. Six of Cups with the Ten of Cups. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. I want you to sing it. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Let's make sure you can see it. Are we good? There we go. Look at that. Okay. Sorry, I'm filling into the connection between the Six of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. We have 3 tens. This is more impactful than I initially felt. And so, and I know that when you say you get access, that like exclusive access to something that nobody else get, it's kind of like, okay, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of that energy, like, okay, because it sounds a little more like a soap opera, a dramatic series than it does real life. But there's 3 tens, so this is pretty significant. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands really does talk about the burden that you've had to bear and the degree of responsibility and weight that you've had to carry as a result of this burden, and the long road that it has taken and how close you are to something. But it's almost as if, sometimes you get to the end of the road and just like a marathon, some people make it so far and then they almost collapse at the very end. And can't make it past the threshold, and other people will come through and pick them up in order to help them. That's kind of like what this is. Somebody comes in at the last minute. My candle's about to go out. I thought I had more candle left than that. Are you kidding me? Okay. So you may be what feels like at the end of your capacity. Hold on. Let me get another candle. I have to choose the one that's closest, so. Okay. Sure. Sorry about that. I had to pause really quick so I could do some stuff. So you may be in a position where you are feeling like your light is about to be snuffed out or has been snuffed out. And seemingly getting like it's like something happens just before you get there. I feel like it's the indication just when you're about to collapse or give up, a breakthrough happens. Like there's something that it stops you from giving up on something. You've taken the action towards something, and have yet to receive any feedback or any kind of confirmation or receptivity from the actions that you've taken. And with the 3 of Wands and, like, traditional right away, it actually can take some time for that to, like, travel back to you, right? Like, you put something out into the universe and to kinda, like, get a response from, right? Sometimes can take some time. That's why they indicate it with the ships, because the person is standing in the harbor, and anybody knows, like, the ships slow down immensely in order to be able to navigate the shallow, like, they're more shallow than obviously the ocean, but uh, in the tighter space, right? Um, and to dock appropriately, they move much slower than they would when they're crossing the ocean. And so, when you're in the harbor, I'm talking about like freight, things like you're waiting for your ships to come in. And you may have even gotten a glimpse of something potentially like it being received, but it's not arrived yet. And you may be at that place where you're like, okay, I'm ready to wrap this up. Because sometimes no response is a response, right? And so this feels as though just before you're ready to throw in a towel, because everything in your environment says, well, this was not well received, or this is not going to be reciprocated, this isn't something that's going to pan out. You get access and you get something, you get a response. And by all means, it seems between the 3 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups, it is well received. It is, it's well received. And this feels as though it's in the realm of um, something that kind of feels tethered to your soul. 6 of Cups does talk about like soul contracts, soul connections, the inner child. I believe the inner child is the seat of where the soul resides within the human, right? And so I think they're one and the same. Your inner child is your soul as it resides within your human self. And so something that feels like, it can be very difficult at times and heavy to pursue things that we feel like have been placed upon our heart and feel like a calling from our soul. Because our life is not necessarily set up to be accommodating to that necessarily. And frequently can take us into places and spaces and require things of us that push us out of our comfort zone and that we are not necessarily um, naturally blessed in those areas or arenas, right? And so it's as though something finally comes through, either in regards to something that has been placed with like on your heart, um like it's some level either a soul connection or a soul calling, kind of like it's contracted within you to pursue and feel driven, the ace of wands, by something. um but up to this point it hasn't really actually been reciprocated or well received. But again, when you receive access and feedback from a place that most people do not get access to, or when you become privy to something that most people do not get privy to because of something that you've put out there, um, that's the tipping point, it feels as though, where something finally breaks loose, breaks free, breaks ground. Um, there is a breakthrough. Ten of Cups is the love of something by you, but the love of that something or of you by others, which is ultimate joy. So something goes from feeling as though I'm not going to be able to make it home. I'm not going to be able to make it the last 20 yards. I can't make it up those stairs. To almost like not needing to have to, because something meets you. Something comes in and meets you. While this is much of a desert, this is about replenishment. Whatever comes to meet you, whatever this breakthrough is, it revives you, it replenishes you. It's the sustenance that you need. Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. I heard revival. This is a revival. There is a person, if you can tell, coming out of the cup. Because it's like once they are replenished, there's a revival. You know, there's the lotus coming out of, like lotus blooms out of the mud. It gives a life to life again. They don't want me to say it's a resurrection, it's a revival. Of what specifically? Because I feel like the Ace of Wands talks about it revives your passion and love for something, but it revives something within you. And the Ace of Wands really gives me like that life force. The desire and love of life, or the desire and love of something, or maybe just it revives desire, passion, and love within you, period. We have the Alien and the Page of Pentacles. Alien talks about coming home to the self. It's akin to the Hermit, right? Where the self and who you really are is well received. It's like Queen of Pentacles. It's being seen for who you really are. It's stepping back into your truest nature. This fell in my lap. This has been long awaited. World and Hanged Man. It's a revival of what is possible. Okay. So aside from the revival, let's go back to the Page of Swords and the King of Cups. We're going to go to Secret Tarot. We have the Judgment and the Devil. What are they getting access to specifically? Obviously, you're getting the access because something that you've done is well received. And it's well, like whatever action you took, it's as a result of taking action towards something that you were drawn to do as a result of something deep within your soul. There's a King and Queen of Cups. What are you getting access to that most people don't? Or that, and this is something that other people want to have access to. What specifically are you getting access to? True love. Soul family, soul contract, soulmate. Can't ignore it with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. We have the Lovers here. The Ace of Swords does show clarity, communication. So does the Page of Swords. This is also about a clear path ahead. Something or someone very in alignment with you, meant for you. True love. Whatever you did, in the depths of your confusion and uncertainty, you chose. You chose your soul. You chose whatever was put upon your soul. The Two Cups. The Five of Swords. You managed to understand, discern, and gain access to the truth. Five of Swords is competing ideas, notions, thoughts. It is this battle within, but it's as if the ribbon separates the one sword that's pointed up. The truth, the clarity, the understanding. And in doing so, whatever action someone took required them moving away from something, the Eight of Cups here. Again, choosing the Two Cups. The Two Cups light the way. There's a couple of things. You're getting access to, like, someone that you were always meant to connect with and come into union with. But just because that is something that a soul has maybe desired prior to entrance into this existence doesn't mean that it's always something that they receive or get. But also, this feels as though this is someone that many want access to, and someone is getting access to a deeper part of this person than anyone else has before. This is a soul connection. And it results in the Ten of Cups. Congratulations. Tell me how it goes.